doing most of the commentary.
Yes.
I have to focus on the game.
Pop in and if you feel the need to pop in and say something, like correct me or something like that, then go ahead. But
and make stupid puns.
Yeah.
No one should bad for that.
Hello, you guys are live on Channel 4. My name is Davina. Please do not swear.
Your name is what?
It's a... nobody gets that joke. Never mind. Nobody gets that joke. I don't know why I do it. It's a fucking British reality TV show called Big Brother.
Okay.
So got a host called Davina, and every single time they do the live segment, she's... Why am I talking about this? Start your run. Actually, no, I'm going to do the quick introduction before we start the run for all like the new viewers from Big John's Raid. Thank you again, by the way, dude. This is the very tail end of Heropantsathon, a marathon we're doing to raise money to get Fladervy and Revolution to SGDQ to run the Freedom Planet Lilac race. Because the goal for that was incredibly, ridiculously high to start with, race probably not happening unless $2,000 falls out of the sky in the next 2 hours, which ha 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 ha. But since we've raised about half-ish, 2K, which is a pretty impressive fucking showing for something I've put on entirely by myself, if I do say so and totally toot my own horn.
Oh yeah.
I don't care. Yeah. I've 26 hours of continuous upstream time and about 46 hours with no fucking sleep. I'm perfectly prepared to feel a bit arrogant about this right now. But yeah, so with that money, we can probably send Fladervy to SGDQ to do Freedom Planet as at least a solo run. So the game will most likely be shown at SGDQ, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, now we're going to do a run that won't be shown at SGDQ because it was shown at SGDQ last year. And then we did a marathon to get him to the SGDQ for that one. This is me doing that thing that we did then, now, but now instead of then.
We just have an addiction to doing marathons. That's the thing.
Exactly.
This community has problems. And they're mostly me. Alright, okay, enough fucking around. When you guys are ready to start your run, count me in like 3, 2, 1, go, etc, etc.
Alright.
Okay.
Count on Flat to do that.
Yep, Flood, you do it. Give me the countdown.
So... Okay, that's 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, I'm Will, and this is Flad running Milla on
Hi.
hard. And Flad is the world record holder for Milla, has been for quite some time. His world record is 30 minutes and 38 seconds.
In-game time?
Yeah, that's in-game time.
We go for it.
Say what?
We go by in-game time.
Yeah, we go away in-game time because we prefer the in-game time where it cuts out some loads. It also cuts out some bits where player's not active. So we like that. He plays on hard because he is a gigantic human meme. And we wish he wouldn't, but the reality is he's like the best Milla player by about 9 minutes. So we can't really stop him. Casual is actually the fastest category of Milla, but hard does have some advantages over normal. I think actually hard has one advantage over normal, and that is that one of the later game bosses, the Giga Serpentine, has a slightly faster pattern for Milla to deal damage to him. So that's useful.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Casual, Milla has more damage, has probably like anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute of extra time, but Flad, again, massive meme machine, doesn't care. The first trick that you might have already seen, that's really, really interesting, is that Flad is going to zip into the wall, or has zipped into the wall, and what he did there was he kind of collided with the slope for maybe a fraction of a second, and then stored that state more or less. And by storing that state, he was able to kind of fly into the wall and zip, and that is a large part of the magic of Milla's run.
It's pretty complex explaining what it exactly explains.
Yeah.
I did 3 different kinds of zips on this stage.
Yeah. Aqua Tunnel is kind of fun actually because it basically is like a showcase of every single thing that Milla can do. But because it moves so fast, we're already at the end of the level here, I can't really talk about all of it. So I'm going to be talking about all this tech piecemeal over the course of the run. This boss right here
As they
isn't a
as they
whole-
appear, we can
Say what?
speed this up. We can speed this boss up.
Yeah, just a bit. It's not much different than casual, but by throwing phantom blocks into its mouth, we can deal a little bit of extra damage and cut the time spent on it about half
Oh
or
no,
so.
I feel the ending.
Yeah. So, that is out of the way, and we're up to Relic Maze now. And Relic Maze, well, has some stuff that is interesting. I want to talk about zips. Zips in Freedom Planet, typically, when you find yourself inside a wall on Freedom Planet, the game will want to push you upwards. It'll push you up a little bit every frame. Push you up a little bit every frame. Milla, however, when she hovers and she's inside the wall, she will actually go downward. So if we get enough speed going downward, and Spaz I think already probably done it by now, we can actually zip through things downward, and that's... Yep, there it is. And we do that twice in Relic Maze. Once is pretty hard and needs to be pause buffered because we need to rely on a glitch that requires us to cancel an input or cancel an animation. The second one's pretty easy though, which is why Flad missed it first try. Oh, okay. The second try. Come on, Flad, get it together. Anyway,
I hit the hardest zip of the run the first try, and the rest was
good job, Flad.
not exactly the hardest, but the hardest.
So as you can see, Flad is on low health, and before he was on low health, he was on no health, and he will be spending the majority of this run on no health, again, on hard, huge meme machine, really wish he wouldn't do that, makes his run super risky, but it's okay. He does it anyway.
And a lot more fun, in my opinion. Want to have fun at the end.
Gotta have fun, that's like the #1 priority here. Anyway, so, I don't have a whole lot to say about this particular bit. I want to talk a little bit about Milla's kit. So Freedom Planet is a 3-button game. There's a jump button, of course, there's also an attack button, and there's a special button. For Milla, the attack button, the B button, allows her to charge a block in normal situations, and when she has a block over her head, she's able to throw the block by pressing the B button again. If she has a block and she presses the C button, she can turn it into a super shield burst. Without a block, it's just a regular small shield burst, and we do use that sometimes as well. In addition, when she holds A in midair, we get a flutter out of that. It's kind of like a mix between Cream the Rabbit and Yoshi. The one other thing is that if we duck on certain ground and press the B button, we can dig up shields and things like that, and that is actually useful in one particular area of this run. So it's not totally useless. We do get something out of that. So this boss coming up, or maybe already there, I don't know, is Mantolith, and Flad has probably frozen the timer by now. If you deal damage to the Mantolith by dealing damage to its arms and then tickling its head. And then once you've done that, it'll hop back off the screen. If you get to hop back off the screen before the timer appears, then the timer will remain frozen. Yeah. Now I believe this can be done easily, or at least possibly, multiple times if you're playing casual. The reason we can't just stun lock the Mantolith into doing that timer freeze repeatedly is because each phase, I think just its arms gain health.
Just the arm, and a little bit of health in each phase.
Yeah, so we can't repeatedly do it. If we tune down the difficulty a little bit, we can get multiple.
But did you know that that task can do it for all 5 phases?
Yeah.
Because it's task.
Yeah, which is like totally ridiculous and unfair. And also, hey Don. But yeah, so that's Manolith. Manolith is a run-killing fight for a lot of us, but Flad totally just beasts on it because he's good. And that brings us into Fortune Knight, which, you know, shock horror is a broken level.
I should mention this run is Milla realizing a lot on damage boosts.
Yeah, that'll be something I bring up in just a little bit. First I'm going to talk about wrong working in Fortune Knight, because that's coming up soon. So what?
I was about to say the same.
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna do the little spicy thing where you, when the flying saucer comes around, you like zip into the ground for a little bit and then come back out. I was hoping for that. But yeah, so Fortune Knight is kind of wonky. When you enter 2 certain screen transitions and then pop back out of them, you are able to basically wrong warp to another area in Fortune Knight. We get 2 of these. Yeah,
and you have to go a little bit further to the left before doing it, for some reason.
Wait, further to the left compared to...
Compared to just fade out skips, that's something that we'll explain later.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, fade out skips are something that we discovered probably, I don't want to say like a little bit after I stopped running. And that's where we pause, I think pause and restart when the fade out begins, and then
enter the loading zone, get out of the loading zone, then restart it and pause.
Yeah.
And then the game finishes the transition earlier than intended.
And I think this like saves us maybe like a fraction of a second for each one in game time, I think.
Both are key in game time, depending on how fast they are done, actually.
Oh, I see. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I haven't run this game in a year, so if I get anything wrong, it's Flad's fault. Blame Flad. So yeah, so we're at the second half of Fortune Knight now, and I don't have much to say about this until Heropantsathon. Let's see. There's a samurai boss, and the samurai boss. Yeah, actually, the fun thing about that boss in the first half, he's actually kind of stuck inside one of the ceilings that you bust through in the first kind of act of the stage, and you can kill him by using a certain technique. You can kill him while he's there, and if you do that, it'll soft lock the game, so you can kill him before he even spawns. It's good. It's good stuff. This is Heropantsathon that we're on currently. Flad's gonna throw blocks at him, basically either throw blocks, use a super shield burst, or use a normal shield burst depending on what is most useful. I think that using constant super shield bursts, if they're perfectly timed, is faster, but it's a little bit more... Say?
It is.
Yeah. But
oh no, I got back.
Oh god.
Oh no.
What have you done?
I completely forgot and got back.
Flad, why do you do this to me? You fell off the plane!
What's the best is Milla can clip out of the plane and then walk normally through the scrolling floor.
Good job. Good job. Yeah,
I forgot to make the plane go up. I didn't need to pick up health there, but
we can zip downward through surfaces, whatever surface we like. So of course we can zip through the plane as well. So Sky Battalion being an air-based level, I think probably this would be a good time to talk about a technique called flutter blocks, which is a technique that we can use to gain infinite height and also flutter while charging. This technique is good for the boss on this particular ship, the metal ship boss, because he's hovering in midair and it allows it to deal tons of damage really constantly. In order to do a flutter block, you have to aim downward, and so you boost yourself upwards, and then charge and press the charge and jump button at the same time. Yeah. And then that makes this boss kind of just jump. So that's easy with you flutter block. But it was kind of interesting point about flutter blocks is that
I actually did that.
Did what?
Nice.
I want to see what you did now.
It's the first time I have ever done that mistake.
Oh my god! Wow, Flad! Missed the ship, why don't you?
I could have... There's a thing I could have done that's like just flutter blocking under the ship.
Yeah, that's something I like to call fuck it strats, which is where you just flutter block under the entire fire ship, and if you reset when you hear the chopper sound, then it'll put you at the checkpoint, and you can easily make it to the boss. And that's actually not that much slower than just doing it the normal way.
Except for the
not-
fact
not
that
too much.
the game checks for. Okay, the game checks for the. The game checks for the ships being completed by the mini boss being defeated, so we can just go to the scan from under the ship.
Yeah,
We have to
we
go
actually-
back
yeah, we
and
actually-
defeat the ship.
Yeah, which is why generally if you want to get a little bit of time, you want to fly into the ship and then reset. when the chopper
Okay.
passes.
I've never seen that happen.
Oh god, what now?
That's never a good thing.
How could you have never seen this happen? You've played this game for like 1,000 hours.
It's a new strat. It's a new
Okay.
strat. That's why.
Yeah. Nice hot new strats, Flat. I like it.
Okay, oh, this game is majestic.
Also, to introduce like our commentators for this thing, the other guy will speak the words.
Yes, me.
That's Will. I'm Punchy. I'm the one hosting the stream. Dawn, I see Dawn in the chat, the voice actor for Lilac, like one of the other characters in this game. We have a race of her category scheduled. I don't know if she remembers who I am, but we've spoken before.
Carry on.
And now
So-
this.
Yeah, now this boss, which is pretty easy.
Okay.
The metal shield that Flat has basically makes him immune to the majority of Dale's attacks, except for that.
In that third
that
phase,
dashing
he
one.
was supposed to do an attack that makes him invincible.
Oh yeah, yeah. On that
But I
third
throw-
phase. Yeah.
But luckily, we can use the items to ignore one entire phase
yeah.
of-
Basically,
of him, and that's the
Basically,
most convenient way place to use them.
yeah.
We
by
save
breaking
like
the
at
health
least
flower,
5 seconds doing that.
yeah, by breaking the health flower against Dale, we can save however much time, 5 seconds or so.
At least
Just-
5 seconds.
Yeah,
Despite
because he
not
can't
having to.
waste our time. Yeah.
There's the small, but if I get too late on that, if I
You
do
just
that on
waste
the
it.
last possible frame, it's possible his hitbox bug out, and
Oh
he turns in completely invincible,
You can't hit him
and
at
it's
all.
not fun.
So now we move on to Jade Creek, and I want to talk a little bit about.
I feel the jump to the frog, but it's okay. I don't have to worry much about cycles.
Because Jade Creek is like a super duper fast level and it's really high speed. I want to talk a little bit about Milla's general movement. So
I
if
miss
you
this again.
probably noticed by now, but the main way we get around playing as Milla is by shooting lasers. Because when you're in midair, you inherit speed from the lasers you shoot, and you go in the opposite direction of your shot. This is useful, but there's some technique that has to be applied, otherwise we don't get a whole lot of speed out of it. For one thing, if you want to get a lot of height, you have to jump and fire the burst at about the same time, because it works almost in a sort of multiplicative way. If you try to fire it at the top of your jump, if you try to fire downwards at the top of your jump, you're not going to get a lot of height. So we use that. But so air drag is also a consideration we have to worry about. If you're moving upwards, your air drag is pretty high. So what we like to do when we throw out these bursts is we like to either hit ceilings if we're going to do an upward burst. That's usually the easiest way to get speed, is to hit a ceiling.
That was almost bad.
Or we jump, and at the very top of our jumps, we're not getting any upward momentum. Then we release a sideways boost, and we use the sideways boosts typically when there's either a very high ceiling or no ceiling at all, or the ceiling is like really awkward. Because if the ceiling's really awkward, then there's some chance we might mount it, and we don't want to do that. So Jade Creek has a lot of water, and so that brings to mind something that was changed pretty recently, actually. Patch 1.21.5, which brought the PC
2 weeks
version,
ago, actually.
Yeah, in parity with the PS4 version. Now we can create blocks underwater and fire them underwater, and that's good. We don't always use that because we do get a lot more speed from when we're not underwater. We accelerate faster underwater, so or out of the water. So we prefer to do that there. But yeah, now we're on to the chopper fight, which will have a lot of flutter blocks, many blocks which are formed while fluttering. This is also our first.
And that was a
Serpentine,
boss.
our only fight. Yeah. Serpentine, easy. Chopper, easy. The
This
thing
boss
is that
has a lot less health for Milla, for the Milla fight, because her friends don't help her here.
yeah. You'll notice that when he comes off out of the ground, the glass is already broken. So, I mean, the reason the boss has so much little health, is because you know, probably because Strife wasn't expecting players to have an easy time with Milla. But by having as much mobility as we do, we can pretty easily take out that boss.
And Milla's not there to give you health as well.
Yeah. So Trap Hideout sucks. I like this level casually. I really hate speedrunning it. And the main reason is this first bit that you just saw Flad get through. There's not really anything you can do to speed it up until the section with like many lasers in a hallway, like small hallway.
And that laser can one-shot Milla
Yeah, especially on
on
hard.
hard.
Yeah. So getting hit by those is a death sentence, especially because they will stun lock you. They will stop your movement completely dead.
But I
and
had
then
to
you are
shoot,
totally
so no
boned.
worries. They shoot from the green stage. Psych.
Which, by the way, makes this, if you were to get an ILPB, it would not be okay because you carried a shield out from a different level. I don't remember when that got banned, but it was while I was running. I don't remember when it happened though.
Was a long time
pausing.
ago.
Okay, so I think if you're referring to pausing,
The fade out skips.
talking about yeah. Well, there are fade out skips, but also in Trap Hideout specifically, if we reset as soon as we get to the following screen, we can actually move while the game is fading in and putting up like the title card for the level.
That's a weird trick just for the second screen of the stage, and no one else.
Yeah.
But we are more worried about your time in this marathon run.
Yeah.
So
we don't
of a
care.
priority.
IGT strats, get out. We don't want them. You take the upper path here, which I've always found really strange because I'm really bad at it. I don't have anything to comment on that part because it's like, why?
One frame
It's so
murdered.
hard.
I mean, one frame
Yeah.
they come back to their keep.
But yeah, so now we fight a whole bunch of ninjas.
then there's
which is
Spades.
really easy. Yeah. We throw a gas can at Spade, and he dies, and it's good.
And there was Spade.
Yep, bye Spade.
The gas can does as much damage as Super Shoot Bus actually. Almost as much.
Yeah.
As much damage. It's not visually clear.
That was a pretty good Spade. Average Spade.
And Thermal Base.
So Thermal
This
Base.
stage.
Thermal Base is my favorite stage. Thermal Base is all about object zipping. This was probably the stage where, for a while, it was like the most prevalent because it was where we could do certain object zips the fastest. For a long time, object zipping was done by running into things at blinding speeds while charging a block and then letting go of that block. Running into like the collision, like we would run into boxes basically, or bombs. Bombs also would work. And then you would run into that thing while charging a block, let go of the block charge, and then it would carry you up, baby. We didn't like that strat. Flad eventually found a new strat where we were able to jump on top of the things we wanted to use to zip. So a bomb, we could jump on top of the bomb, jump on top of a box. We jump, and then we charge, and then release. And by doing this, it's way easier. It's a super duper easy way to zip. Anybody can do it. Even your grandmother could do it. Easy.
It doesn't require building speed
Yeah.
before
That's
hitting
probably
heavy
the-
block.
Yeah. which makes it way easier. I don't know what to say about this mid boss because it's just kind of. I mean, I guess.
I thought the metal shield would be pain.
Oh yeah, yeah. The metal shield helps us by allowing us to be immune to spikes. So those spikes on the side of the field, you don't have to worry about those. They're not a big deal. Also, we can tank the spikes from the robot because those deal spike damage. Metal shield eats that up. Easy, easy, easy. So this second half of thermal base is water focused. There's going to be a little bit of water, so a little bit of boosting underwater. Flad is probably going to try to do. I want to see.
This is a hard zip.
Yeah, this is the same trick we saw with the slope glitch earlier in Aqua Tunnel.
But it's hard because the corner is at a hard place to access.
If you touch anything else, and also if you lift off at a bad angle, it won't really work very well. Nice job.
And you should mention that because I have a different reference angle. Wait. Because I have a different the angle from the ground, my horizontal and vertical movement vectors are different, so the movement is completely different.
Yeah.
Weird.
When you start fluttering from that trick, like Milla's flutter is really strange, so you were like inside the danger zone.
So I wouldn't need to shoot to go for the
orange spring. But yeah, so are we gonna use flutter blocks to get up the elevator, or do we just
because we don't like elevators, as you can see.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
I missed the fade out skip because I'm stupid. And that's what happens when you miss the fade out skip by restarting too early. You have to redo the checkpoint. That's not fun.
Oh my god.
That was supposed to happen. But it's okay because that checkpoint was short. This is an annoying boss, and I already lost like 5 seconds because I missed the fast pattern.
We can actually kill that boss. We can take one phase out, or most of one phase out while it's off screen. And that's cool. But other than that, this is a pretty straightforward fight. Can't really do anything to speed this one up because it's not actually
outside of the last phase that's just bring the HP to 0. But now he's at a more awkward position.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so that's thermal base. That's thermal base. It's a good level.
There's a thing that Milla can do as well. At the end.
Oh yeah, the zip, or the weird ladder zip.
The ladder glitch.
We tried to find a use for that. We never could. Sad about it. So this is a shmup. I don't actually have anything. Like
I'm just holding forward.
Yeah, I can't even begin to think of.
And tapping the flamethrower button with having nothing to do but me about something. What can we do about today, bro?
I'm just gonna type memes in chat, so hold on a second while I find them.
I wanna read donations.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me read the fucking donations.
Okay, go ahead.
We're talking a mile a minute. That guy with the username that I find completely impossible to pronounce, Zinnostig. I'm just gonna paste the name in chat actually because that name is utterly incomprehensible.
My son ever again.
I can't. This name. I can't pronounce this name. I have no idea how to pronounce that name.
Zinosteg. Come on, man.
What the fuck? You make it sound so easy. Anyway, he donated $2.69 with the comment Milla booth. That is. Vitalistan donated $60 with a comment that looks like a small dude throwing his hands up in the air. I'm not really sure how you vocalize that like piece of text. We're gonna go with. Is the shmup section over yet? Yes,
yes, it is.
It is over. I don't have any more donations to read. Please get over it before I embarrass myself further.
Okay, so.
Don't shoot me.
So, Yeah, so Flat's holding onto a crystal shield. That's actually, I mean, no, that's totally useless to Milla, isn't it? Other than taking a hit.
For taking a hit later on, that's almost impossible to take otherwise. This one.
Oh, yeah.
But I lost speed, so it didn't matter much.
Wow. Rip. So this is actually the place where we're probably going to use that digging property that I mentioned a while back for the beginning of this.
And this is a hard stage.
Yeah, Battle Glacier is like obnoxiously hard. There's a lot of precise movement. There aren't a lot of really nice ceilings that we can boost ourselves into. The geometry is really awkward to get around in. It's just a hard stage. It's an awkward stage. This is like one of the reasons I dreaded doing full game runs. Because I'm so... This stage is really exhausting. It's long, it's difficult.
Oh nice, I hit all three.
The drills are annoying because they take multiple hits and sometimes they don't do what they're supposed to. That said, you did actually get a nice little triple hit there, so good on that.
And not for
and
this
we're gonna...
boss.
Yeah, so this boss requires some movement manipulation. I've been told it's really easy as Milla. I don't believe it is. I think it's really easy as Lilac.
It's easier for all characters.
I'm bad as Milla.
And there's the
Couldn't
digging
tell him.
because he's off screen, so I don't lose time doing damage to him.
Yeah, so we dig for a fire shield, throw it at him, and this actually has multiple purposes. We can tank the hit, and also it allows us to take a hit a little bit later with a fire damage dealing enemy. So that's nice. That's
It do
cool.
damage to the mini boss.
Yep. It's basically just it's perfect. It's good. It's a good trick.
I should have
elegant.
not missed that.
Okay, what'd you miss?
Okay,
I
I
gotta
got
see.
this one.
Is it a zip? Oh, no. How could you, Flad?
That's
So you do
that
that
backup
instead?
strat speaks so perfect, by the way.
I didn't actually realize that backup strat existed until just now. That's amazing.
It speaks so perfect.
Of course it is. God dang it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
now
so
I
now
have
we
this fire
to-
shield that I don't want to lose it at all. And you see why later.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Oh no. Now I remember why we have the fire shield and why we don't want to lose the fire shield, and why you running on hard makes you a jackass because you only get one hit for that fire shield, otherwise you lose it.
It's two hits.
It's 2 hits for Milla.
It's two hits
Oh, that's
for me.
right. That's right. Milla gets an extra hit for shields.
Say hi to Sparky. He'll help us a lot.
Yeah, Sparky is
With
great.
this.
He allows us. He
By
allows us
doing
to get out
this.
of bounds, and we love him for it.
It's lovely because he wiggles
Zip.
more to the left than the right for some reason.
The
We can abuse this.
The Sparky wiggle is actually like it's so easy. Like again, this is like you know how I said even your grandma could do it, right? With object zipping, new object zipping. Well, this is like somebody who is like 120 years old and like has arthritis could do it. It's like you just press the button a few times and then you're
This is why we need the fire shield
Yeah.
to the boss. It will
So-
penalize this boss way too much.
Yeah, so Gail says, what is this nonsense? That's very apt. You basically just kind of hover in Dale's face until he dies when you have the fire shield as Milla.
And Lilac
It-
has the
it-
shield now.
Yeah. Also in that arena where you fight Dale, there is an invincibility in there.
But we don't need it.
On the right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we don't need it.
So now we're coming
So
to
now-
the final 4 stages,
Yeah.
the final dreadnought.
Yeah, now we're on to Final
Time to
Dreadnought,
go
which
to the
is
space.
we're going onto the spaceship. Oh man, we get to be a space dog. Love being a space
Okay.
dog. So
FD1 is Cycle Hell.
Yeah. Yeah. that would be an accurate description. Thermal base is also a little bit of that in the second half, but not really nearly as much as FD1. FD1 has lasers, and these lasers are really jumpy and jerky, and
I missed
if you
the
get hit
boots,
by
which
them,
prevented me from getting hit by the other
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Forwards.
and they're I think we call them pylons.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, pylons are the little things that shoot up the little purple orbs that spin around. We like those.
They did take the rhythm of the entire run.
Yeah. But yeah, this stage is mostly lasers and pylons for the first half.
I like how
and it's-
I was failing this everyone I did for Pratt this week, but I got it now.
Oh, the yeah. Yep. Yep.
I tried to do a trick here by
So
using the air current to force a flutter block out of a normal jump,
yeah.
but I tried to do a flutter block too early.
The hot tech. So yeah.
Normally
more
you grab the
lasers.
fire shield there for safety, but I'm crazy.
Don't we? I thought we used the fire shield also to deal damage. Don't we?
It's faster to not grab it, but it has to be really
Oh really?
executed.
I thought if you threw a block through the wall,
And
it was
already,
like not.
and already making things back. There are these to not take any hits at all here.
Yeah, taking hits here is bad because
The next
kills your
level
time.
has quite a bit of damage boosts and no hit and no healing around.
Oh, that's right, and you maintain health per stage, don't you? Because you're on hard.
Exactly.
Right. So because Flat's playing on hard, because again he's a huge meme machine. His health stays the same. Like his health will carry from stage to stage. As a result,
I'm
taking
not at
damage
full
at
health
all.
here.
Yeah, taking damage at all is bad, especially for FD2 because FD2 has a lot of things that are like really just raring to kill you. Before we deal with all those though, we get to take a box and zip up. And this box,
That was
Lilac
smooth.
Runners is known as Lilac Runners is known as Dread Box. For us, it's nothing. It's just a box. We don't really care. Because obviously zipping with Milla is crazy.
And look
easy.
what I did. That was amazing.
I want to see what you did. Did you do the? Nice.
Nice job. That was
Nice.
the way to be in Deathless Run.
Quality death right there. But dig it.
I had to hit that, otherwise I had to take a game over and reset. Because I need a life to
Oh,
start
yeah.
here.
Right. So those bombs, zipping up them is kind of dangerous because if you fail and blow them up, or actually if you end up inside or outside with only one life, you can't
Can't do
reset.
anything.
You have to quit. Yeah, you have to quit, and basically then your run is void, and that's bad. So I think we
And
do
more
a zip
zips.
up here. Yeah. I was gonna say, I think we do a zip up here at some point in the near future. Off this. Oh, hey, that's right. No, you don't do the. You do the Hellflower zip, but it's after doing a water shield zip. And this basically just. This tower has a bunch of zips. Zips for days. Milla's flavor is zip. That's what Milla does. Yeah. Flat's on his last life. It doesn't really matter because game overs are like virtually meaningless in this game. So this is the reason that Milla is slightly faster on hard. Giga Serpentine has two attacks that we can reflect. And he does them faster on hard than he does on normal. But yeah.
But again, if the fight goes out of control, yeah.
Yeah, it's
fun.
bad. So then we move on to FD3, which is my favorite
fast
level to
stage.
speedrun. So what?
It's a fast stage.
Oh yeah, it is a very fast stage. FD3 is like blindingly fast. Even if you're not very good at it like me, you can still go fast in FD3 because it's like super easy, and there's lots of curved surfaces, and the walls are nice and low. it's a great stage to speedrun. If you ever want to like get like a taste of Freedom Planet speedrunning, you don't want to put a whole lot of effort in, I would recommend FD3 because it's a lot of fun just to go fast in.
Except for a new trick that I found like last week, I think.
Every
Why
time.
would you ruin FD3? I can't believe you, Flad. I'm sad now. I don't know if I can do this.
And I failed it. Fun
Never
fact,
mind. Back to good things.
the upper part of that loop is bugged. But if you go through, so it will always fail when you go through that and not looping properly, except when you go through it on a very specific speed. Then it's usually when it saves quite a bit of time.
That is stupid.
Stop missing boosts.
Why do you always do this? You okay, so like, I ran Freedom Planet for maybe a few months or so, and over the course of that time I ran the game, Flad was consistently making new discoveries about Milla, and it was like so frustrating, because like, one day he would discover a trick that made the game, or made a trick super duper easy, like new object zipping, made a lot of stages way easier than they were before, way more consistent. And it really helped me stay with the game. And then he goes and discovers other tricks that are really annoying and inconsistent.
The switch skip on Red Maze. I mean,
Like this, yeah, the switch skip in Relic Maze is like the #1 example of that, because you have to pause up for that stupid trick, and it requires the frame perfect input.
and it kills a
Anyway,
lot of runs.
Welcome to speedrunning, bitch.
Why does this happen?
I've been here for years, mate.
But yeah, so
We
yeah,
don't want
yeah,
to cross this entire thing. I don't remember GQ for Milla.
Someone said
Okay,
non-canon path. They are correct. This is the
Okay.
non-canon path. But yeah, as Milla, we can zip many times.
Many
there's a stair zip
circumstances.
that- yeah. There's a stair zip that we can do, which Flad did, and that's nice. And then I think we can also do a zip in the laser room as well.
And then we
Not
do
mistaken.
this. And I
I gotta
failed.
see this, 'cause oh no, Flad!
So I have to take a game over here.
Can't believe this. A game over, Flad? Really?
What? Oh, I forgot to detail. Anyways. That was interesting.
What did you do?
What did
No,
you do?
What?
That was
What did you-
interesting.
What did you do?
I did the fade out skip, which wasn't complete.
You did the fade out skip on the game over?
Because it was.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So let's not do this fade out skip.
Yeah, let's not do this.
I had one life left, so it completed the quit.
Right. Okay, that makes sense, but that's
That's
so
what I'm
stupid.
supposed to
Oh my
do.
God.
That's amazing. I love this game so much. It's so
Oh, I hate everything.
And by laser room.
Yeah, you just kind of zip into it, and there you go. Bye. We go all the way to the top. All the way to the top. And wow, that really just chumps that room. God, I should try that sometime. Anyway, so we're up to the
no.
final boss.
This is the bad guy.
Yeah, big guy. With ribbon.
He has giant eyebrows.
Massive eyebrows. Look at these eyebrows in this guy.
Majestic.
They're beautiful. I would take a comb.
Come
for
back here.
those.
Okay.
No,
So-
that's one cycle. He gets the one cycle, which is a
Very
lot harder than he makes it
cycle.
look. Yes.
Yeah, so that's why we
Motivate.
keep the fire shield, is because it makes it super duper easy to get one cycle with Milla on this first phase.
Wow,
So
that
we're not
was-
going to see the third phase of Brevin until the following run, because Milla doesn't see the third phase of Brevin. But Brevin 2 actually had some recent adjustments in that same 1.21.5 patch that I mentioned earlier. His pattern was
That's
made
the wrong-
consistent for the first little bit. It's actually a
That
little bit
was
slower.
a space record on time, by
Wow.
the way.
Yes, time.
Okay,
no
time.
one in this fucking marathon can call time.
But yeah, that guy was changed to be consistent. It's worse for Milla, but Milla owns Bones, so we don't care anyway.
And that was an epic way to lose 1 entire minute.
That was
And
really
dying so
Planet.
impressed it. Whack.
We did it! Not even sub 40 flat. What are you doing?
Sub 40. That's a 30. That's a 32.
I mean real time.
32. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, 32 is actually really good. World record again is 30:38, so 32 is pretty good, especially for a marathon showing. And yeah, as the chat says, "Wah."
Right.
So yeah,
and if you didn't have enough of this game from
This
that,
might
we have
be
a
good.
race